If you're watching this video, maybe you're thinking about growing some giant pumpkins next year, but you're not really sure how to get seeds. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna explain to you 3 methods for getting seeds, and based on your situation, I'll try to make a recommendation. All right, so method number 1, this is good if you're not really into being social and you're a beginner. This method is basically just buying them online. Specifically kind of generic seeds. You don't want to buy the stuff that you find on Amazon, okay? You do want to buy Wallace Whoppers, Holland's Land of Giants, they're like silver bullet seeds, and Howard Dill. Go to Dill Pumpkin Seeds or howarddillpumpkinseeds.com. They have good generic seeds. They're not generic, they're out of competitive big pumpkins. Unlike the stuff you're gonna find on Amazon, you really have no idea where those are coming from. So, if you don't really wanna be social and you still want some really good seeds, that's what I would recommend. Buying them online from one of those sites. And if you're cool with spending a little bit more coin, you can go onto a site like World Class Gardening. That's where I got my seeds in 2024. You can get a pretty nice selection of seeds on there, but in general, they're gonna be a little bit pricey. If you wanna get really good seeds for a really decent price, I would highly recommend method 2, which is going on bigpumpkins.com and participating in an auction. How's it going, Ken?
Good, good.
Thanks for coming out, I really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
So I thought before we go into auctions or anything, we need a little bit of background for people who don't know what bigpumpkins.com is.
Okay.
So who better than you to talk briefly about what is bigpumpkins.com and who are you in relation to it?
Sure. So bigpumpkins.com is a community website for giant pumpkin growing. It's been around for 25 years, and it allows growers to meet one another, document their season through grower diaries. I host all the seed auctions in the winter, so all the clubs go on there and earn their money, prize money for their way-offs. Just a general community for giant pumpkin growing.
So now that we know what bigpumpkins.com is, we can take a look at one of the seed auctions. All right, Ken, so we're on the home page of bigpumpkins.com.
Yes.
Where would you go from here if you wanted to see when the next auction is?
So usually on the home screen, there's going to be the auctions that are coming up that week are going to have an ad like this.
Okay.
And so in that ad, you can, if you click their logo or you click here, you can go to the details for that auction. Or you click this link, it brings you to the schedule, and then that's just a shortcut to bring you into the chat rooms where the auctions take place. So this first auction that's tomorrow night is the Mountain State growers. If I look at click on that link, it's going to give me their full list of all their lots.
Who's in charge of this club?
Yeah, so this is the doc. Chris Rodebaugh is the head of this club. And so what these listings have in them will be the lot number, the set will tell you that they have one set of these seeds up for auction, and then all of these seeds are included in that set.
All right.
And so then
they have more than just pumpkins. They have lots of...
They have all different kinds of fruit.
Yeah.
A lot of these auctions will have other types of fruit. In this case, even peppers. But there's going to be squash. There's going to be tomatoes. All different pumpkins, of course. But you could browse through, these auction listings and find what you're looking for, and then join the auction, the live auction, and put a bid in. Maybe you'll get lucky and win a bid.
All right.
So we'll look at the schedule. So this page will show you the dates and all the clubs that have auctions coming up. And once they send me their information, what their auction is going to be, then I'll create this details link. And something new that we're doing this year with the PGVG, they also have pre-bids. So in their auction, if you click the details link, you're going to get the PDF file of all their lots, and they have many, many, many lots. If you click the pre-bids link, they're doing a special grower diary for their club that has every lot in their auction. And let's say I wanted to bid on Nick McCaslin's watermelon. I could click here, this is what the lot is, and then I can bid by putting in a bid down here in the comments.
Okay. And so that's where the bidding will start on the official auction that takes place on the 27th.
Yeah, so that's why they're called pre-bid. So they're basically, they're taking bids up front to try to expedite their auction so it doesn't take as long.
So could you talk briefly about the different types of auctions too?
Sure, there's two main types of auctions. There's what we call a live auction, where in one night, in 1 or 2 or 3 hours, they're going to go through a list of lots that are for sale live. And then there's a second kind of auction, which is called a silent auction, which is typically takes place over a series of days. Could be a week, 2 weeks, or even longer. And you're basically bidding 24/7 through the message board.
Okay. So that's like a longer, more dragged out, but it just more gives people time to input bids when maybe, I'm not around for that 2-hour period that auction's happening.
Right. Yep.
It'll just give you some time to do that.
And then there's also some clubs that do raffles. So you're basically buying tickets that are then chosen at random, kind of like a teacup raffle, where you're basically buying tickets for individual lots, and they're placed into a virtual teacup for that lot, and then the winner is drawn out of that.
Okay. It's a raffle for each individual lot.
Right.
So I want the 2365 Wolf.
Right.
Well, there's
so you
50 other
need to
people
buy
buying
500 tickets.
Yeah. So when the time comes, let's say you find a seed in an auction that you're interested in. How do you actually participate in the auction? Like where on the site do you go to participate in it?
So back on the main page here, like for example, tomorrow night, if you want to get into this auction, it's the MSGG Club. You would click on chat rooms, and there's going to be a chat room with that name. So here you can see I already have it set up for tomorrow night, the MSGG seed auction. So you're going to click on that, which takes you into the chat room. And over here on the right, you'll see a list of all the people that are in the chat room, which right now it's just you.
Just next week.
And in here, you have basically 2 parts of the screen. This box up here is where you type in your message that you want to send or your bid. And down below, you'll see as the auctioneer is presenting the lots, you'll see the text flow down the screen. And then when they'll call for bids for each lot. So when your lot comes up, you're just going to put your bid in. Each club that runs an auction sets their own rules, although there's sort of a common community set of rules on how the auctions work. And usually the minimum increment between bids is $5. And so a lot of the clubs will have a different starting price. Some clubs might start at $20 for a lot, some might be high as $30 this year. Also, usually when you go in the chat room, the auctioneers, the people who are helping, usually it's more than one person, and their text will show up in blue. Everyone else will be a different, an orange color.
All right.
So that's one way you can know that you're actually talking to the people that are running that particular auction.
All right, so say you participate in one of these auctions and you win. Then what happens?
So if you win, again, each club has their own set of rules, but typically they want you to email, they'll give you contact information right in the auction that says, the winner of the lot should email such and such a person with this specific information. They want to know your real name, they want to know your Big Pumpkins username, and they'll give you payment instructions on how to get them their funds, whether it's Venmo or PayPal or postal mail, a check or whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So then basically they just get your info and then they send off the seed to you.
Yeah. Typically they're going to wait till, if you're paying by check, they're going to wait till that clears, or once they have the funds, they'll send it out.
So in your opinion, what are the advantages of getting your seeds through an auction versus, for example, buying them or sending out a bubble mailer to a grower?
Sure. So in my opinion, getting your seeds through an auction is one of the best ways to get a top seed because the money is going to fund a club. So it's not going to an individual, it's going to a club, and they're typically using it for the prize money for their auction. For their way off.
So it's going back to the community.
So it's going back into the pumpkin growing sport as opposed to, just a profit to some company. Obviously, if you're just starting out, the single best way to get seeds is to ask for them.
Yeah.
It's like you said, the bubble mailer, or go to a club meeting, and growers will have seeds in their pocket all the time.
Yeah.
And if you just ask them, you just introduce yourself, they'll hand you seeds.
So yeah, in summary, by participating in the auction, you're going to get a really good deal on a top seed, and it's going to go back into the pumpkin growing community.
Right, yeah. That's what I think the benefit is, for sure. Yep.
All right.
What browser are you using right now?
This is Chrome, I believe.
Using Chrome, okay. So the chat software is part of the oldest part of this old website.
Okay.
And so right now, I'm planning on updating it, but right now the best performance you're going to get in chat is if you use Edge in IE mode.
So that'll let me get my bids in faster so I can snipe the auction and win.
I would suggest that, yeah.
Win the seed I want to get that I'm not going to say because I don't want anybody competing with me.
Yeah, I didn't publish that anywhere, but I was looking at it earlier today because I knew I was going to talk to you.
Okay.
And noted. I think IE mode in Edge is going to give you a better experience in chat than other browsers.
Okay.
Now that will be corrected at some point this winter, but for now, IE mode is your friend in Edge, so try it out.
Only for Nick's Big Pumpkin viewers.
Right.
We're the only ones who get that sort of info.
Exclusive.
Yeah. All right, cool. And then finally, I wanted to ask you just on a personal note.
Sure.
Are there any seeds that are really exciting you for next year that have you being like, oh man, I have to get that, I have to?
Well, I don't grow every year, but next year is a year that I'm going to grow.
Okay.
And I'm considering growing a couple seeds, but all of them are from good friends in the clubs that I'm in.
Okay.
So I like Steve Sperry's seeds. Those are high on my list.
That's an easy one to like.
Yeah, that's an easy one, right. And of course, I think some of the crosses that Ron Wallace made this past year looked really good too. So probably the one plant that I end up with is going to be a seed from New England.
Well, I'm very excited to see what you grow. I know you have some big things in store. I don't want to spoil it. You can see him on bigpumpkins.com on his grower diary, Ken D. You got to check it out, guys. I spend way too much time on this site. It is one of the last good places on the entire internet. I'm dead serious. So yeah, thank you very much, Ken. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right, cool. So we'll move on to the third and final method, how to send out a bubble mailer, with the head of the MSGG, Chris Rodebaugh. This is a really popular one for a lot of growers because 1, you can get your seeds for free, usually. 2, you kind of build a connection with the grower that you're getting the seeds from, which is really important in giant pumpkin growing because pretty much everything you're going to have to learn from someone who's more experienced. So I'm going to show you guys how to fill these out and give you some do's and don'ts for this method in general. So you're going to start out by filling out the bubble mailer. You're going to put the recipient's address as you, and the return address is going to be the person that you want seeds from. Because remember, this is what they're going to send back to you with seeds in it. Then, you're going to do the opposite with your envelope. You're going to make the recipient's address the person that you want seeds from, and you're going to be the return address. Then you're going to write out a short note to the recipient. I like to use a little index card. Basically just giving a general idea of what seeds you're requesting. It doesn't have to be long or convoluted or anything, just something simple, basically thanking them. Then you're going to pack up your bubble mailer and your note, put them into your envelope, and send them out. You can either use UPS or the post office. I prefer the UPS just because it's closer to my house.
Hey folks, so I got a bubble request for seeds from my good friend Nick. Came in the mail, looks like this. Got rid of the names on it. But he sends me an outer envelope. We opened it up carefully. And inside outer envelope is another envelope with stamps, turn stamps, and addresses to and from there. And a note from Mr. Nick. I'll read the note to you. It says, "Hi Doc, I would like to request a 1461 aka Ruby seed. I will be growing her in a 150 patch next year. And I'm thinking of crossing her into a 1552 young. Oh, orange on top of orange, Nick. Good choice, sir. To make a super hybrid Howard deal winner." I really appreciate it, Nick. So what I do is I'll get my ruby seeds, which are somewhere, hopefully. Haha. I do actually still have a few, like 3 or 4, which is good. You don't want to hoard seeds forever. And I'll take a few of these and put them in this envelope and mail them right back to Nick with another note that I write, probably on this note, saying, good luck, my friend, in 2025. Grow me a big one.
Let's see what we got in the old dock. West Virginia state record holder. Oh, we got another little envelope in there. Oh, I guess that's the one that we sent out. Trying not to dox either of us too bad. Oh boy. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Dude, I love the packaging. Alright. Ruby. And you can see we got the little ruby decal on there. And then we got a 2025.7 Rodebaugh, which I really like. It's a cross of the 1707 Caspers and the 1965 Rodebaugh, which Doc grew his state record off of. So that is a great seed. Good luck, Nick. Grow me a big ass pumpkin. I'm gonna do my best, Doc. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you're a new grower, I would highly recommend that you just join the Garden of Giants Facebook group or Backyard Giant Pumpkin Growers. And you just say, hey, my name is Nick. I'm from Central Connecticut. I'm a new grower and I was wondering if anyone could help me out with some seeds and some guidance because I want to grow next year. And 99 times out of 100, you're going to have a response pretty quickly of someone who's going to hook you up with a mentor, some seeds, and anything else that you would need. I just want to remind you, giant pumpkin growers and this community, it's the nicest people that you'll ever meet. Remember, I only asked for 1 of these ruby seeds. These are pretty valuable. And Doc gave me 3 of them. And on top of that, he gave me some bonus seeds as well, which is not uncommon for sending away a bubble mailer. A lot of the time you'll get back more than you asked for. If you're a newer grower, I would highly recommend that you subscribe so you can be on the lookout for my next video, which is going to be on seed starting. It's a really difficult area of growing for beginners. Like, I messed it up horribly last year. So in that video, I'm going to lay out a proper, reliable protocol that you can then just copy. So thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you learned a lot on how to get seeds, and I'd like to thank Ken and Doc Rodebaugh once again for all your help. I really appreciate it. See you guys soon.